there are like little beads inside. I like to just put my hand on my chest. You should try it too. Big cats, little cats, all the cats. This little moonlight is really nice for just creating a cozy mood. You end up improving the quality of your sleep, and you will awake refreshed and ready to face the day. Hey there, how's it going? It's really good to see you, and I hope you're doing well today. Today I'm just going to be chit-chatting a bit, nothing super crazy or special. I grabbed a few items from my nightstand and figured I would just kind of talk about them because I had to give myself a talking point, otherwise I could ramble on about nothing forever, which might sound like a good thing, but it's, trust me when I say it's bad. So we'll go ahead and get started with our first item, which is this super cute little art print. And it has a bunch of little curly dogs, curly furred dogs. I like how minimal and just simple the art is, and even this like little stand I think is cool because it's just like a little block of wood. It's so simple. Yeah, my band-aid. Yes, I still have a band-aid finger. That is because I won't go into too much detail, but let me just put it this way. This finger is not fit for the camera. I feel like it might be borderline disturbing / distracting for some people to see, because I got my fingernail ripped off. So that's what's happening under there. My finger's working a little magic and growing back a nail, but it's slow, very slow process because I completely got it ripped out of my finger. I won't go into any of the more gruesome details or the story. I feel like it's just not a very comforting thing to talk about or not a comforting thing for you guys to hear as you're probably trying to relax. So, I mean, if you want to hear the story, then I don't mind telling it. I don't want it to be like a gross out story, which it is. So I will probably be wearing this band-aid / just cutting my finger out of every edit as much as I can until my nail has grown back completely, which will probably be another few months. We'll see. It's about halfway there right now, and it happened in October. So, well, late October, like right before October ended, so basically November. And here we are in the spring, and I've got half a nail back, so I think that's pretty good. I mean, it's about right on track, according to the internet, of how fast my nails should have grown back. And here I am talking about my nasty fingernail, or lack thereof, rather than the talking points that I brought for myself. I I'm just so very easily distracted. So, this sits on my nightstand. It's very cute. Next, I have this Dream Mist body and linen spray. I'll be honest, I haven't actually sprayed my body or linen with this recently, although it is halfway gone. Like, I've used it, I just haven't used it a lot recently. I feel like I may have featured it in another video at some point. I think it's pretty cool because it has little gemstones, amethyst and moonstone in it, and some sparkles. It's really pretty, like has little swirls of sparkles in it. I think part of the reason I keep it on my nightstand, even though I don't use it daily, is because it's so pretty. But it has a very soothing scent, like lavender. Alright, so that's about it for the Dream Mist. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. I just think it looks pretty, and I guess that's about it. Hopefully it made some nice sounds too. But yeah, there you go. So the next item I have here is this little guy. It's one of those eye compress things that this one I think is really just meant to be warmed. It has, I don't know, this Velcro might be a little loud. We'll see. It has a little bag in the inside that has, I mean, I don't really know what it is. there are like little beads inside. And some lavender. So yeah, you just pop this in the microwave and heat it up, and then you can put it back into the cute little outer part. And I like to put it on the back of my neck or over my eyes or my forehead, or even just like sometimes just putting something warm on your chest feels really nice. A lot of times I like to just put my hand on my chest. You should try it too. You know, just take a deep breath in with your hand on your chest and just like apply some like gentle pressure, very gentle. And it's just very soothing. I don't know why. So I like this. It's another one of those things that is enjoyable to like use, but I just really don't use it very often. I think maybe it's just the effort of putting something in the microwave. That sounds so bad. I probably come across as like super lazy, and maybe I am. But sometimes if there's one little extra step to take to do anything, like I rarely take a bath. I just stick with showers, even though like baths are so relaxing. And you know, if I really feel like I need it, I might take like an Epsom salt bath or something like that. But really, I just don't do that very often because the extra amount of time it seems to take. So I guess it's important that we take time for some self-care. A lot of us are probably not so great at doing that. I'm just gonna put this back in here now. Anyway, we got this cute little tiger here. Tigers are my favorite animal, I would say, or at least in the top 3. I guess I just like all sorts of cats and always have. So, big cats, little cats, all the cats. Okay, so my next item here is this Laneige Special Care Lip Sleeping Mask. Berry flavored, scented, both. I mostly just use it when I feel like my lips are extra dry. And it's really nice. I just put it on before bed, before I go to sleep, and then I wake up with super soft lips. I love the sound of jars opening and closing like this. Sorry. I think I'm getting a little lost in the sound of this jar, but hopefully you were too. So here's another kind of weird thing that is in my nightstand. I don't really know why this is in my nightstand, besides just that I think that's, when I'm sitting in bed winding down, that's kind of the time that I start remembering like some of those little things that have been floating around my head during the day that I didn't have time to think about. Like, oh, I have this picture that would be really cool if I like printed it out and hung it up somewhere. And so it's just sitting there in my nightstand. I don't even have to get out of bed. I can just turn it on, print the picture, call it done. I actually think it's really cool that, like, I have the Instax camera as well, but I think it's really cool to have the printer so that if you just take a picture of something with your phone or don't have, I mean, those Instax cameras are kind of cool, but they're also kind of like big and lumpy. And if I'm not carrying a bunch on me, I at least have my phone for the most part. And so I can take pictures of things with my phone and just print them out. And that works just as well. I feel like this would sound pretty good with some little smidge of echo or delay effect added in there. Let's see. So yeah. that is all for the Instax printer. Okay, another item that I keep on or in my nightstand is this little remote. So I had this, the little moon lamp that this controls in a video, and this is just the remote part to it. As you can see, you can change the colors. There are quite a few options. And then you also have a few different color changing settings. We have flash, strobe, fade, and smooth. Smooth. And you can control the brightness. I really like putting on a bunch of like cool mood light type things after dark. And I usually like to put some sort of mood light situation up on the TV in my room too, or a little fireplace or something. It just makes it so cozy, and that extra bit of like light and movement is I think like comforting to me, but I don't want to like turn on the TV and have a show going because that's too distracting. And I know some people like to have the TV going so they don't feel lonely. But I kind of just like listening to music and having like the TV on, but yeah, something more relaxing showing. That's just like something I don't want to necessarily focus on. Yeah, I kind of like to let my mind wander, and so I don't watch TV necessarily before bed, even though I like to have it on. This little moonlight is really nice for just creating a cozy mood. One of the biggest bummers about this finger situation is just that I can tap on things normally with this hand, but then this one, it just doesn't have the same feeling. I need this fingernail back. Give it back to me. I was hoping these buttons would make a nicer sound, but they actually don't really make much of a sound at all. So, yeah, do you like having the TV on as you wind down for the night, if that's something you do? And if so, do you like playing a show? Do you get distracted by shows? Do you want to get distracted by shows? I know even if I put on something I've seen a billion times, like a movie or something, it's just I will still watch it. Like Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship, that one I have seen way too many times, probably a shameful amount of times. And I will still watch it if it's on. Like, I cannot fall asleep to it, even though I've seen it so many times. Like, it needs to be literally like a fireplace or mood lights or something. Just something that's not, something with no story. Okay. So that's my little moonlight remote. One final item is a book. I don't read every night, but I do keep books on my nightstand. And this one's really nice because it's 48 lessons on relieving anxiety, but each lesson is its own little chapter. And they're all pretty short, just a few pages long. So very bite-sized chapters. And each one's just a little lesson. So maybe I will read you one. Just like I would read one perhaps before I go to sleep. So let's see here. We have a very creaky spine on this book. Let's see, we got part 1. Reduce the color behind. Keeping anxiety. Focus on now. Very relaxed. Part 2. Shine. Make your evenings calm. Ooh. So, I'm going to read lesson 17 to you. Make your evenings calm. Late at night is not the time to make big decisions. Let me ask, are your evenings peaceful? Part of Zen practice is a nighttime zazen. At certain Soto Zen temples, this begins around 8 p.m. For the monks, it is a nighttime ritual to quiet the mind before bed. Consider this. Night after night, do you find yourself in a bar after work, complaining into your glass? Drinking your troubles away may be a temporary solution, but it can leave you feeling not so great the next day, right? Making your evenings calm is surprisingly difficult. During the day, the work rush obscures your anxiety, worry, and fear. But at night, these are thrown into high relief. Once your mind gets caught up in them, it can be tough to shake them free. I happen to think this is strongly related to the darkness of nighttime, but it's a hallmark of the night for worry to breed more worry and for doubts to further take hold. After a sleepless night, haven't we all had the experience of things looking quite different in the morning light? Your problems don't seem so terrible, and you wonder just why you were so distressed. Late night decisions are also prone to error. What's more, Turning all your worries over in your mind stimulates your brain. It can make it impossible to fall asleep. For this reason, one of the tricks to making your evenings calm is to avoid, as much as possible, having to make decisions at that time. This advice is based on the experience of a well-known economist. The nighttime used to be when he'd gather information from TV and the internet, but at some point he decided to stop. He unplugged from all news in the evenings, and in the mornings he felt more settled than ever before and more clear-headed about making decisions. When you take in information, you can't help processing it and mulling it over. Block it out. This seems to be one of the most important ways to make your evenings calm. Another effective way to encourage serenity is to make time for whatever makes you feel good and helps you relax. Of course, this will vary from person to person. Some people may like to read a novel or peruse the pages of a comforting poetry collection. If you like listening to music, make the nighttime your time for doing so. If you'd like to take up crafting or another hobby, make the evening your time for it. You might like to light incense or your favorite candle and take a long bath. When you make time for pleasure, you will naturally feel calmer and more at ease. Making this an evening ritual before bed is no less zen than a nighttime zazen. You end up improving the quality of your sleep, and you will awake refreshed and ready to face the day. You probably already knew that, but in case you didn't, there's a little bit of advice. So I hope you enjoyed the little excerpt from this book. And I hope you're taking some time to do something that you enjoy, that puts your mind at ease, and that helps you relax. And thank you so much for spending some of your precious and valuable time with me. And hopefully I will see you again very soon. But until then, stay well rested, and take good care.